Imagine yourself on Friday morning. Your class is not at 8, but at 11. You wake up at 10 after a very good, long sleep. And think about how long the week was. To start the last day of the week, with a joyous mind, you enter the toilet to respond to nature's call. Now try to imagine seeing voluminous stuff with yellow liquid in the toilet which looks aside, smells so bad that you want to kill yourself. How do you feel? Disgusted? Angry? Puzzled about who at this college has no proper upbringing? Sick to your stomach? Today I'm going to talk about what happens when people, after urinating and defecating, forgets to flush. I encounter these incidents almost every day. I have been in considerable culture shock over this disgusting problem. Now that I have got the platform to speak, I am raising my voice against this grave issue. I think the students of the College of Worcester should be more concerned about flushing after urinating and defecating in the restrooms. So first, I will tell why leaving the toilets unflushed is a problem. Then I will provide a solution to solve the issue, and we will visualize the campus and beyond it when the issue will exist no more. And finally, I will talk about what exactly you can do to help. The problem is not only obnoxious, but potentially disastrous too. Let me explain. It is like passive smoking. You are not smoking, you are just inhaling somebody else's poison called nicotine, and suddenly you will realize that you have a cancer. And in our case, you are not the origin of the waste. However, you see, smell, and breathe somebody else's waste, and suddenly you will realize that you are not the same person you were before anymore. You are intolerant, you don't have an aesthetic sense, and your grades have started to go downwards. I have encountered all of those. In the morning, just before going to the class, everyone has encountered this issue at least once, if not more, in the last 3 months. In a casual interview with Manish Ariel, resident assistant of Compton Hall, a few weeks ago, he mentioned the issue and talked about the disgusting nature of it. Jai Kedia, a freshman of the college who is also present there, complained to the both RAs of the floor for this issue. Aiden Smith, who is the other RA of the floor, knew the incident from his experience from last year, and so he taped little paper messages like "flush me," "leave the seat off" if peeing on the wall of the toilet stalls. Now anybody who is not a resident of the halls in the college can just notice the custodian's face and realize what I mean, especially after the weekends. The custodial staff members here at Worcester are awesome. It is inhuman to let them face those incredibly filthy toilets on the first day of their week. The problem is also affecting the viewpoint of international visitors and immigrants here at college. They are getting a bad impression of Americans, which in fact is not true. But it can have a negative impact on relationships nevertheless. From an international student's perspective, I can say most of the people around the world think of the United States of America as a sign of heaven from God. The sign should not have bad odors and human waste here and there. So is it a big deal? People cannot concentrate on their studies for days and sometimes even months after encountering these smelly, disturbing incidents. No one can concentrate on class because their brains and sniffers stay busy trying to forget these incidents and their odors. If the toilets are left unflushed, the first problem that occurs is the bad odor problem. Besides the repugnance of the odor, it can attract harmful insects such as flies, cockroaches, and beetles to the building, and they can carry harmful diseases. Human sewage, which is what people are leaving in the unflushed toilet, can also cause serious diseases such as hepatitis, occupational asthma, and even Willis disease such as cramps, jaundice, and severe headaches. An article by Sean Russell published online titled "Why We Must Flush Toilets" cited names of different severely harmful diseases that can be triggered by these unflushed toilets. Now I want to say, which I didn't want to say in the first place, is that the world is at an end. at least in the eastern part in Japan. Because I was going through a theory called chaos theory, and I just learned that if a butterfly flips its wings in Tokyo, it can cause a hurricane in Ohio. So if we are urinating and defecating in the toilets in Ohio, God knows what will happen in Tokyo. So why should you care? As a part of the Worcester community, do you really want all of this to happen? For those who are currently studying at the College of Worcester right now, the concern is utterly great, as I have mentioned earlier. As for those who are not a student of Worcester, the faculty, the custodians, the staffs, and the administrators, you are working very hard for the independent minds working together to flourish. Do you want them to go astray for these silly reasons? Now you know how big and serious the issue is. You might be thinking about the solutions. So what can be done? As the problem lies in not knowing the significance of the matter and not caring about life and hygiene, an awareness campaign can be the best possible solution of the issue. In fact, I came up with a slogan for the campaign, and that is, I flush, do you? The campaign can consist of several steps, such as we can start by posting signs, we can arrange several seminars, we can even throw a quizzing competition regarding hygiene and importance of flushing so that the students will have an incentive to be interested in these issues. And this will fix the problem because the tagline of the campaign is very clear and people will catch it and remember the significance of the matter when they go to the toilets. The plan will work because the solution is addressing the root of the problem. Besides, similar campaigns have worked for similar issues such as sex awareness campaigns such as use of condoms are widely successful even when it required certain monetary and satisfactory sacrifice. And in this case, people do not have to sacrifice anything at all. They need either to push or pull, and that's it. So you might be asking that other technologically advanced solutions such as automatic flush, which can be a better solution to the problem. I thought about these solutions too. However, economic issues aside, we don't want students of College of Worcester to be forgetful and careless. We want students to develop lifelong habits of good hygiene. If we have auto-flush toilets, then students will remain irresponsible, and through the awareness campaign, students will be more concerned, develop good hygiene habits, and become better citizens of the global community. Now let's visualize. If this problem of unflushed toilets continues, just think of the consequences that I have mentioned earlier. Everything will slowly but surely fall apart. And do you really want Worcester to be an independent minds working together place irresponsibly and carelessly? And also imagine if United States were not the melting pot for the international students, for the brains of the international students. The gathering of brains here from different parts of the world with the natives is very important, because we don't want the students, and also we don't want the students of College of Worcester producing mediocre IS projects, because the problem can lead to them producing mediocre IS projects. We want them to uphold the core values of the College of Worcester and take all of their actions to another level of superiority. Now imagine if my plan works, how it will go. I can see students of College of Worcester becoming much more productive and careful about personal hygiene if the campaign can be successfully implemented. Now today, I will not ask you to even to help me with to plan the campaign. I will not ask you to give money to the campaign, although you can. And I will simply ask you to take one small poster and put it on the wall of your favorite stall. And if you do this, a day will come for sure when students of College of Worcester do not have to go to the restroom and get out with the intention of committing suicide. Instead, students will come out of each stall with the promise to contribute to a greater extent to the global community. I will request Emma to pass these posters to you. Questions?
Can you perhaps suggest maybe something that makes a loud sound when you don't flush, like an alarm? Something embarrassing?
Yeah, Nate just gave another solution for the problem, whether we can use an alarm if the flush can make like a noise, and if it doesn't make noise, we can say that the person who used the toilet didn't flush the toilet. But that can be embarrassing, and I think that if the awareness campaign can be successfully implemented, all these problems will go away. Yes, Professor?
What about cameras and fining students?
Dr. Wick just asked if you can install cameras in the toilets. And I don't think it would be a very good idea to install cameras. And just imagine the officer will see the videos, and he will see people defecating and urinating all day. And he might commit suicide after that. We really don't want that. Yes, Nancy?
Wouldn't that be a violation of privacy then?
Yeah, right. That might be a violation of privacy. Aja?
Did you interview any women that have, is this like a specifically, were you talking about like in the male bathrooms, or did you interview any women?
Yeah, I talked with several students, including male and female students. In the female bathrooms, the problem is not as severe as in the male bathrooms, but female students also have encountered the similar issue, but to a lesser extent. Ian?
I guess I'm kind of confused as to what this picture with the toilets up real high on the wall.
The picture actually draws your attention to the poster so that you can read, because so that you can read that the tagline of the poster, that is "I flush to you." So that's the reason.
How would you argue against people that, despite it being gross, wouldn't flush to save water?
Jake just asked if we flush toilet, we might be wasting water, and if this is the reason behind people not flushing, then what would be the solution? In fact, that's another reason, because if we don't flush, we didn't know that this is a severe problem. It can cause hepatitis and some other severe diseases. We don't want this to happen, because that way we'll end up spending more money for the treatment of the diseases. So, yes, Professor?
Isn't urine sterile?
Yes, urine is sterile, but in terms of defecating, it can be a problem. And when people spray urine in the seats, it can also be a problem.
Okay.
So, thank you.